the heck happened to 4Ks this week? Did they completely hit rock bottom? Well, let's talk about it. So now we get into the physical media breakdown video where we look at the different numbers of these discs, how they're selling. We go over the top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week. I give you my thoughts and recommendations on every single title there so you can make better buying decisions for your collecting needs in the future, of course. And then we look at the market share breakdown where we look at all those different disc formats you love, see how DVDs are selling in comparison to Blu-rays and 4Ks, and see what's gaining ground and what's losing ground, because there's some pretty shocking numbers this week. And of course, we talk about the future of physical media, all the trends and what is happening and how we can save physical media in 2025. So let's go ahead and get into the top 20 selling bangers. So first up at the bottom, we're going to have Farewell My Concubine, which is a Criterion title. I don't know much about this movie. I've seen the cover art and it didn't really look like a movie that would appeal to me, but maybe you guys can convince me in the comments below. Next up, we're going to have Star Trek The Motion Picture. I love this original Star Trek movie. It's actually my favorite out of the originals. With Star Trek, I love space exploration. I love kind of the thought-provoking questions. That's what makes it different than Star Wars. So yeah, that number one I got to check out on 4K eventually. And next up, we got Titanic on 4K. I do have this disc and I absolutely love it. I mean, it's one of the greatest romance disaster films of all time. And it's just really entertaining, great acting performances. And once again, the 4K just looks super sharp and clean and sounds phenomenal with that score. Next up, we're going to have No Country for Old Men from Criterion. I did pick up this one, but guess what? My 4K disc didn't work, so check your disc out there, guys. But I have to get a replacement, and hopefully it looks and sounds amazing. But I will say the artwork on the disc looked really cool on the inside when I opened it up. Next up, we're going to have Smile 2 here. Smile 2, awesome sequel. Thought it was better than the first one. Naomi Scott gives a great performance. I love where it goes by the end, so really enjoyed that one. Next up, we're going to have Constantine from Warner. You got this kind of DC horror type movie, but I thought Warner Brothers did a great job with the steelbook design. And then also, I really liked the new interview they put in there with Keanu Reeves. So yeah, very awesome release. Next up, we're going to have Galaxy Quest from Paramount. Another great release where I like the steelbook as well. And it's just a super fun love letter to Star Trek fans. Really kind of just awesome with this all-star cast, and it gets silly, but the whole family can watch, so I really like that one. Next up, we got Civil War from Lionsgate. I'm not a fan of this movie. A lot of people are. I don't think this movie goes far enough. It's just kind of weird how it's all set up. More about the war journalism side of stuff, not really about the war action. I just felt like it didn't take enough chances for me, but once again, a lot of people love that one. Next up, we're going to have Red One from Warner. I love Red One. I think this is going to be a new like Christmas classic for me. Just a fun family action comedy. Got some cool cast members in there like J.K. Simmons, right? The Rock, Chris Evans. I mean, that's super entertaining. So yeah, I can't wait to get that 4K once it gets discounted a little bit more. Next up, we're going to have Venom The Last Dance, which I thought, hey, it's a decent entry for the Venom movies. You know what you get with these Venom movies by now. So fun action time. There you go. That's all you need. Next up, we got The Substance from Movie. I absolutely love this 4K disc. Looks, sounds amazing. The practical effect work in there is phenomenal. The acting talent there from Margaret Qualley, of course, Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid are all phenomenal. So really like The Substance. If you're into bonkers, wild body horror, got to check it out. Next up, we're going to have Akira. I just picked up this one, Crunchyroll. Finally got the 4K Steelbook at its super cheap price with the, buy two, get a third one free deal on Amazon. Take advantage of those deals, guys. Cover them every week. Save yourself some money on your 4Ks. But yeah, Akira I haven't watched yet, but the trailer looked really cool. Can't wait to check it out. Next up, we got Den of Thieves 2 Pantera from Lionsgate. I really like this sequel. I like both of the Den of Thieves movies. I think they're fun, like modern heist movies with some twists and turns in there. So yeah, really enjoyed that sequel. Next up, we got a new one here, Trick or Treat 1986 from Synapse. I've not seen this movie yet, but I kind of want to because somebody described it as me kind of in the same vibe or feel as like Shocker. And I really like that title. So like kind of more, I guess, like goofy horror, old school 80s. I got to check that one out. So once it gets discounted, I will definitely pick that one up. Next up, we got Transformers 1 from Paramount. Really fun animated movie. If you love Transformers, you're going to love this one. If you love animation, you're going to like this one. Highly, highly recommend. Next up, we got a new one here with Daylight from Kane and Lorber. I know they had some issues with that release. eventually I will pick that one up, in like a Kino Lorber sale of sorts. I heard phenomenal things about that movie, so I got to check that out. Next up, we got a new one here with Thief from Criterion. This is one I would most likely pick up in a Criterion sale in the future. James Caan in it. I don't know. The trailer didn't really sell me, but maybe you guys can sell me a little bit more on it in the comments below. Next up, we're going to have Nosferatu from 2024 Universal. I thought this movie was amazing from a filmmaking technical standpoint. It had everything you wanted on the checklist. Great acting performances, great cinematography, production design, costumes. I mean, it just looked phenomenal. I'm using that word a lot. Hey, word of the day is phenomenal, right? I'm using it too much, guys. Sorry about that. But Nosferatu, I did enjoy for a one-time watch, but I don't know if I would rewatch it all the time, which is why I'm hesitant to pick it up on a 4K disc. Next up, we're going to have Wicked from Universal, which a lot of people really like this one. I thought it was good enough. Like, I had a good theater experience with it. Is this one I need to rewatch all the time? Maybe not, but I do want to get ready for the sequel. So maybe when the sequel comes out, they'll do a little combo pack and maybe I can pick both of them up at the same time. That's what I'm hoping for. And then number one, we actually got Gladiator 2 from Paramount. A little surprised by this one, but maybe I shouldn't have been. Gladiator 2, I thought was actually a pretty darn good sequel. Not as great as the original, but I thought there was some good acting talent in there. I mean, come on. You had some great performances with Pedro Pascal and Denzel Washington. And just, yeah, it was really fun in a sword and sandal kind of movie way. Really cool action scenes in the Coliseum. So overall, yeah, you know what? You get what you need to out of a Gladiator 2 movie for the most part, besides some of the wonky visual effects on some of the animal creatures were a little weird in some parts. But overall, a decent watch. So there we go. Those are the top selling 4K discs of the week. Once again, a lot of good titles on there. Highly, highly recommend checking a lot of those out. So now to dive into the home entertainment chart of the week or the previous week, we got to look at the market share breakdown. How are these disc formats selling in comparison to one another? And I've looked at the overall, decline in physical media sales total in the previous video. So we know sales are down across the board on all of these movies, right? Because it's physical media declining from year to year. We haven't been at a peak since like 2005. So yes, total sales have gone down. We've already covered that. So people that are looking for that, you're good there, right? Next, let's look at these percentages, though, of the disc. And this is pretty shocking to me. The 4Ks, around 14% now. That is pretty shocking because we were seeing it get above 20% and close to 30%. And it looked like it was rising pretty high up, but I feel like it's just kind of plummeted now. It's hit rock bottom. We're around that 15% marker. Now, it's still better than the days where it was around like 5% or even 10%, like 15% is okay. But once again, I would love to see about a third of the market share. But once again, people are tighter on their wallets these days. Prices are wild out there. And so not everybody is buying 4K discs day one. We're waiting for the sales. We're waiting for the deals. So that makes sense for that percentage to be that way. Next up, Blu-ray, though. That's more concerning to me. 20% on high definition. Like, people are still not convinced by Blu-rays. I don't get it. Blu-rays to me are the best value. Talked about it being the best value in 2025 already. And I just don't know what's happening here with Blu-rays. Why can't Blu-rays now, take it up and go 30, 40%? People are still not convinced by high definition. And I've been getting some cheap Blu-rays out there. I know I've showed this off before, but I got this sucker with 4 Blu-rays for $7.50 from Walmart. That's less than $2 a Blu-ray disc. That's a great deal. Why would people not be picking up Blu-rays? I don't understand. There's definitely some good value there. But DVDs are king as they always remain, I guess. 65%. Now that's pretty shocking. Once again, I wouldn't be shocked if DVDs were around 50%, but hitting that 65% marker, oh my gosh, people are just picking up DVDs because I guess they're getting them at just the cheapest deals. That has to explain it. People just want the cheapest price no matter what. They just want to play the movie disc. They don't care about high definition, so they don't care about Blu-rays. They definitely don't care about ultra high definition with 4Ks. And so that's where we're at now. But that's kind of concerning too, because I think Blu-rays and 4Ks would have gone up with it being more collector niche market, right? Like, wouldn't those other percentages rise? But maybe there's less collectors than ever before. People are less seeking these movies out online and saying, hey, I got to pick up this 4K purchase, or I got to pick up this new Blu-ray release. And instead, those collectors are getting out of it, and now it's just, what they have in Walmart, which a lot of the Walmarts only have mostly DVDs, and that's what people apparently are still picking up. So if they don't have those online sources or care to go, I guess, to those online sources and not motivated to, then yeah, when they're walking in Walmart, they're just going to grab the DVD off the shelf and be fine with that. So, wow, this is pretty devastating. So, we got to talk about that. The state of physical media and collecting we're in right now. I don't want to hit the red panic button yet because we love physical media. We love collecting. We're going to continue to do this on this channel and support physical media for as long as we absolutely can. So, now let's talk about the future, the state of physical media, all the trends that are happening right now, because these 4K and Blu-ray percentages are pretty concerning right now. What does it mean? People are not picking up these titles day one. Does that mean they're not picking up the titles at all? Maybe they're just waiting for the deals and sales. Hopefully that's the reason. And so we still have a lot of collectors in the market. But if it's opposite, if it's people just getting out of the collecting market all entirely, they're not going to pick up these movies anymore on physical, well, then what's happening to movie watching? Because when I go to the theater, there's not a lot of people, even opening weekend for most movies, watching these new releases. So if they're not watching it in theaters, they're not watching it on physical media, where the heck they're watching it? I guess on streaming when it gets to that point. But even so, I see a less of a passion for movie watching in general, especially from younger generations. They don't really care about movies. So as older generations pass away, what's going to happen to this art form? Is it going to die out? We hope not. We're going to keep it alive on this channel for as long as we can. As long as we have your guys' support, we're going to keep supporting physical media, keep talking physical media and movies, because we absolutely love movies here. And it's about preserving movies and having the movies in our collection. And so we got to keep this community absolutely strong. Hopefully it's just a temporary moment where people are being tighter on their wallets because prices are getting crazy. So hopefully this isn't a permanent thing where people are just getting away from movies all entirely. Hopefully it's just kind of a little glitch in the system there where people are just taking a little bit of a pause with the crazy prices. Hopefully that's the case. But once again, we just want to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. But there we go. Those are just my thoughts today, guys. You guys got to let me know in the comments below. What do you think of the top selling 4K discs of the previous week? What did you pick up recently? Also, what do you think of the state of physical media? Are people being more careful with their buying decisions right now? Where are people looking to pick up these movies? And how do you explain all these market share breakdown percentages and the supreme drop in the 4K disc and DVD just being the king as always? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. Of course, let's respond to each other. That's how we grow this channel organically. We get this information and entertainment out to more people, and then we get to save physical media in 2025. You get to be a part of that movement. We get to bring more people into the collecting space. We get more friends to talk the movies we're absolutely passionate about. And I know a lot of people watch this content on the weekly, but they haven't yet taken that extra step to click that subscribe or that notification bell. Please check, see if you are subscribed. If you aren't yet, please click it. And that way we just help save movies. But yes, have a great day watching and talking the movies, my friends. Of course, you love this physical media topic. Another way to help grow the channel is just by blockbustering another video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.